Shut up and sit down.
Hello gang. Right, what we're going to be doing today is making a set of custom decals to wrap that with, which is the 124 Transit, similar to the one that Fox did as the knackered old Transit. What I've done on this, I've scratch built an interior to go in it, bench and all of that sort of gubbins. Okay, so there's a little workbench and all of that. It's going to have an LED in there. I've opened the side door as well. Created a little hinge mechanism so that the door opens, and there's a bench with all the hobby zones, snap-on tool chest, little spray booth, all of that going on in there, like so. See, little spray booth with the filters. So I'm going to decal wrap that. Now a lot of people email me requesting me to do a little how-to on how I do this, what I use, etc. So this video is going to be a short sequence of how I lay it out on the computer, Photoshop, how I size it, what I use, decal paper I use, fixative that I use, etc, etc, etc. So hopefully by the end of this video, those of you that are keen to learn how to make your own decals all know how to do it and fancy a go at it and have a play, and hopefully you get the same results that I have. You know, it's a good process, it's a nice little learning curve, and it's another set of tools to your armoury. So sit back, enjoy and watch this little compilation on how I make my own decals. See you shortly. People, right, decal time. Right, you can use different types of decal paper to print your decals from. I tend to use this stuff, which is water-based inkjet water transfer paper. You can get it from the flea bay, and that's a packet of whites. Okay, you can also get it in transparent. Now the transparent has obviously a transparent backing to it, more like a normal decal. The only difference is inkjet printers do not print white ink. So if you have something like a Spitfire RAF symbol, red, white and blue, it will print the red, it will print the blue, but not the white. So you're going to end up with the background colour bleeding through where the white should be, unless you paint behind it in white. Also, a thing to be careful of is they both have a white backing paper. So it's very easy to get the transparent mixed up with the white, because they both have a white background. So keep them in their original packets. Okay? They come in packets of 20 sheets, and the dimensions, make a note of them, because when we go into Photoshop, that's the dimension I set my template to. I create a new template in Photoshop, and the size is the 297 by 210, and that will give you the dimensions of an A4 sheet, so that you can see on screen how big everything's gonna be. So that's the decal paper. What I tend to do when I do decals is I'll print out a set on standard A4 white paper just so that I can cut round them and place them on the model and see whether or not they fit. Also allow a little bit extra for around the edges of a large piece, especially like where I'm doing the van. You're going to have a lot of curves and conforming and ridges and things like that. So sorry about that, it's just my watch beeping. So you'll have a lot of stretching to do and conforming and that, and it just gives you an overlap around the edges that you can blend in however you choose. So obviously if it's a key bit of artwork, try to keep your artwork within the area, the central area, and then obviously as you go to the outside you don't have so much detail there because you can blend it a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move me camera over so that we can look at the screen on the PC, so that we can look at a bit of Photoshop. But before we do that, I'm not sure whether I've mentioned what fixative I use. I've mentioned it in other videos, I'm sure I have, but that's what I use as a fixative. Plasticoat gloss clear sealer. Okay, you can get it on the Amazons, the Fleabays, the Range, all kinds of shops, but that's what you're after. Okay, Plasticoat gloss clear sealer, that's what you want. Okay, I've used it for a long time, and like I say, I've not had any issues applying thin coats when you print your decals onto your decal paper. Leave it for 24 hours after printing to let the ink bond to the paper. A lot of people leave it 20 minutes, clear coat it, 20 minutes, clear coat it again, go to apply it, it cracks, it blisters, the colours bleed. Don't rush it at the end of the day. Print it, put it on a clipboard and leave it overnight, 24 hours, come back to it the following day, give it a coat of Plasticoat. I tend to go across the sheet with a mist coat, and then I go along the sheet with another coat, put it on the side, and you leave it for 24 hours. 24 hours later I do exactly the same. I give it a thin coat, straight over the paper, bosh, and then I leave it another 24 hours. And I find I don't get no bleed, I don't get no cracking, I don't get no tearing or nothing. Play the waiting game. Don't rush it, because at the end of the day you're going to end up having to do it again. So you're still going to spend as much time faffing around, so just be patient with it. Like I say, I've learnt the hard way. I've had a few in the past that have done that, and I've just left my drying times as per the can, 24 hours, and since then I have not had so much as a problem. Alright, so bear that in mind. I'm going to pause and set up. Well, actually I can just tilt my camera, can't I? I don't need to faff around. So I'll just tilt my camera to the computer so that we can see what we're doing on, like so. Let's try and get this in a better position for you all. There you go. That'll work around about there, and I'll try not to smack my head into the way of said camera. There you go. Right, so let's open up Photoshop. Ba 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 da ba. Let's see whether or not that's the one I was after. templates, I think. Let's see whether or not it's in there. Video templates. That's what we want. Photoshop. Let's see what that gives me. Ka-ching. See? Now that template is the size of that. 210 by 297. Okay. Image. Canvas size. In millimeters. As near as damn it comes to 209.9 and 2907.4 millimeters. Okay. And then you can lay out your artwork, etc. So you would import an image. So say for instance that one. Okay, and what I do is I would select it like that. Copy it. Paste it into the art like so. Move it to where I want it to be, and then you can start resizing it. So you would go into transform scale like so, and then you can start scaling it to however big you want the image to be. Okay, bearing in mind that's the size of the sheet of paper on screen, and then you would lay them out accordingly. And what you can do is you can actually hold the part up like so on the screen, see, and you can see how that image represents that. Okay, so that will give you an idea. And I tend to go slightly larger than the piece because obviously where I've laid this out, the edge art is pretty bare sky, etc. So I've got a bit of trimming. Okay, so you would apply that and then you just build your layers up, and you can view your layers at any time just by going into your layer screen. And when I'm done, all I do then is I change my background colour to black because it's a black van, and there you go, voila. So you've got a nice edge to your background. Okay, the end result of all of that will be you'll have a full decal sheet like so. Okay, and that is the whole A4 decal sheet that will cover the van. Bearing in mind that the shell's missing off of that at the moment, you would hold that up and you would zoom, and then I click print size, and what that does is that expands the zoom so that you can actually see how big it's going to be on the A4 sheet of paper, and you can hold your van up, etc., and you can size it accordingly. Okay, and then obviously whatever your print settings are, you go into your advanced print settings and select best quality, and that will give you a nice high quality printout of the decals. And then when you've got them printed, you'd let the ink dry for your 24 hours, and you would play around with it until your heart is content. So what you can also do with Photoshop, if we zoom in on that, you can also play with layers and blending and things like that. And all I do on that, I lose that picture, is to move stuff around on a layer. I've had Terry ask me how I do this, so I'll show him. Is what I tend to do. Say for instance we wanted to have that planet, I would take that out of a picture, like so. Let's just step backwards on that and get rid of the rectangular mark. Say for instance you had a picture of, say, that satellite, okay, or that rock. You can basically edit, you can copy it, and you can paste it in, and now you've got two of them. See? And you can bung that anywhere you want, but what he also asks me is how I get rid of the background. So if I drop that there, what you then have along the side in Photoshop is you have tools, and there's a one there called Magic Eraser. Right click it and I select Magic Eraser tool. You can also have Background Eraser tool, it does exactly the same thing. And what you do, as you can see, is you start taking out the background of the rock. You can do it with a Magic Eraser and it takes the lot out. See? Now there's no background to it, so I can move that rock wherever I want around the picture, like so, and it becomes its own layer. Okay, so when I go in there, layer 1 is the rock, so click it and rename it. That's the key. Rename it rock. Okay, and that's what we're doing. See, I'll shove that anywhere I like. Okay, so that, Terry, is how you start manipulating layers. You can also do it with the planet. You can get a copy of the moon there, edit, copy, would help if I selected the background. That's it. Edit, copy, edit, paste. We've now got two moons, and as you can see there's loads of background and shizzle in there. Get into your Magic Eraser, get and lose all of that background like so. Just like that. Obviously you can go in and zoom and get this a lot more finite. Like so. And then you can shove your moon wherever you want. See, you've now got two moons. Got one up there, you've got one down there. You can shove it there. And that's how I built the planets. You just select the whole planet, bung it in, put another one in front, another one in front, another one in front, another one in front, all the way around. So if you imagine this is a planet, I then shoved each one in front of each other like so, and formed a nice little planet burst. It's that simple. Okay, so you can shove it where you want, and each, like I say, each planet became its own little planet burst. See, and then if I wanted to, I could shove that rock in front of it, put it wherever I want. See? And that is how you do that, you know. So it goes to show you what you can do. That's just a quick, simple tutorial, I suppose, on how you can move stuff around in Photoshop. So it's pretty straightforward stuff. For Terry, it just gives him a little bit more scope, and you can do this on all sorts of things. You can go into the background again. You could take out that comet there with your rectangular mark. Let's undo that and get a bigger section of it. There you go. So you can look at that. That's it. And I've now got two of them. I tend to move it over like so. Let's rename that whilst I think of it. Get used to renaming your layers. Select your magic eraser. Like so. Lose the background. Like so. Don't want none of that. I just want the comet. Okay. I now shove the comet, and I've now got two of them, right up there. Right. I can move that around wherever I want. I can shove it over there, I can shove it up there, you know, I can shove it over there. Right. You can just move them wherever you want. It's that simple. Okay. So that's a quick lesson on how I create my artwork, and then that will turn into your full decal sheet that you want. And obviously the one I used was that one. Okay, that's what I'll be printing out for my transit van. Okay, so when we come back I'll have the decal sheet printed out, ready to sort out the application of the sealer. So I'll see you in a moment. Bye bye. Right, we've now had 24 hours letting the ink dry on this little decal set, so we're ready to now apply a bit of my fixative. Now I use Plasticoat Gloss Clear Sealer. Okay, now you can get this on the Amazons, the Range, places like that. Okay, make sure it's the gloss and make sure it's the clear sealer. Okay, not the polyurethane, but the clear sealer. Okay, so I'll just pan that out so you guys can all see. Take a screenshot so that you can go out and get yourself some. Okay, now it takes 24 hours to dry, so I'll give it a coat. I'll leave it 24 hours, I'll come back, I'll give it another coat. Okay, just give the whole page a coat like that. That's all it needs. Let that dry. 24 hours. Already you can see the gloss finish. Yeah, so leave it alone for 24 hours. That's the key. So you're in 24 hours for the next coat. whole page a coat like that. That's all it needs. Let that dry. 24 hours. Right, welcome back to making your own decals, and I'm using the transit van as my test bed. You remember the last time we gave them a spray with Plasticoat Clear? Well, it's had its second coat, it's had its 24 hours, and as you can see, they are super shiny. So we are ready to cut and apply the first one, which is going to be the whole side of the van. I'll just cut the decal. As near as I can get it. To what I want. Like so. Keep all of these bits because they come in handy for black and white stripes. So they can go in the greavely drop. Now that is what I've got to play with. And that's going to wrap the whole side of the van to about there. Okay, so it's just a matter of positioning it to a point that I'm happy, which is going to be about there, and then I have an area that I'm going to lose. So rather than waste any decal, I've got a little planet there and I want to keep that little planet because I'll probably cut round it and then apply it down there, see, so that we retain something. So that's as near as I can get it. So the first job, wet the model. Get it a bit wet and then start putting on the microset. Like so. We can then shove the decal in a bowl of water, which is right next to me, and as I say, get the model ready to accept its new friend. Like so, and then it's a matter now of beginning to position it. Roughly where I want it to go.
working it across the model. And it is difficult to try to get your hands in the right position, so I'm having to pull away from the camera a bit. So apologies for that. But as you can see, it is a rather complex shape. Let's just get a clean cotton bud to try and help this on its merry way. That's it, saying it's just beginning to conform now to the edges of the van. Which is what I want. And then as I start getting it to conform to panel lines, I can then get right in and start getting the shape I want. Like so. And then I can start roughly cutting it around the wheels. Just to lose the areas that don't need to conform to anything. I can get them out of the way. And then focus on decal that I plan on keeping. Like so, see. And she's beginning to start conforming. Which is what we want. At this stage is to get as much decal where it needs to be. Before the sole goes on. Just get rid of them lines out of it. There you go. And bring that now to where I want it to go. is now beginning to conform. To the edges of the van. I'm talking really quietly, I do apologise, but it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this because I've had a day where I can't sleep, and the rest of my family are all tucked up in bed asleep, so I'm trying not to wake them up with my inane drivel. And just start bringing that around, run the cotton bud along and try and get out as many deep creases as you can. You're going to get them all, that's what the sole's for. That's beginning now to look rather spectacular. So I think we're getting close to the point where the micro sole can come out. So let's have a look and see how a bit of microsole will work with that, and try and get that in place. I could do just a little bit of a trim now on some areas. Just to try and give the sole a chance to do its job. Oh, didn't want to do that. Let's pull that out. That's just the cabinet with a spray booth in. Let's get a bit of sole on there. Let's start really applying the sole now. And letting that really do its job. you go, we're back on now. It's just I had to pull that edge right over just to try and get that to start laying on the roof. And this is going to be covered by a roof decal anyway, this, but that's really becoming quite effective in wrapping the side of that van. So it's really nice to see it beginning to come in and do what I want it to do. Right, let's get the old solar Rooney going around that wheel arch and start sucking that in. And that's all you're doing. You're in control of the decal at the end of the day and what it does. It's not the other way round. This is delicate, don't get me wrong, and you can really balls it up. But as long as you're not too brutal, can manipulate creases out to a degree anyway. But for its initial application, I am really getting quite happy with this. Not at the stage where I can make cooing noises yet, but I'm not far off. More salt. You probably think I'm very heavy-handed with the salt. I probably am, but at this stage I really want to get it to start shrinking back, because I've got a van window here that I've got to cut out, and how I do that is I just do a cross. That's all I do, just to take the tension off of it. That's all I'm interested in doing at the moment. It's taking the tension off the window. There you go. Just like that. And I'm going to leave that and let the microsol really go to town, because the temptation is to keep fettling at it. And already I've had a couple of creases appear where I put my hand on there to move a bubble. I'll start trusting in the soul now. Right. La da da da. Just drop the citadel in. I'll get rid of that. And now that we're at this stage, I'll give it one last quick coat of soul. If I put a nice thick coat on, and I'll let that do its thing, and when we come back, hopefully the sole has really shrunk this end back to a position where I can then cut out the door openings van to the next stage. A little crease there, so I don't want that. There you go. Gets rid of that. Cool. And there, I think you'll agree, for a homemade decal, that ain't bad. So I am going to leave that to dry. And clear coat it. What I do is as I apply each one, I clear coat it so that then when I'm handling it to do the other side, I'm not breaking the decal apart. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, let that finish doing its job, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap the rest of the van. See you in a moment. Right, back side of the transit van has had time to dry now, and as you can see, that decal's conformed all the way around there. Right. Lovely. So now we've got the other side to do and get in place. So I just want to lever the door over a bit. Just to get that in position. Like so. Then we can wet the model and start getting this one done. So initially just a bit of water, like so. Get me decal. Just drop it in the water to start the process off, like so. And then just let it rest. Whilst that's doing its thing, we can start putting a bit of micro set on the model, just to start the ball rolling. Just to get things started. So, see whether the decal's ready to start coming off, which it is. Just trying to get his hands to comply. There you go. Start figuring out the placement of the decal. Will comply. Right there. And then I've got to make sure my sign's level. Compare it to the side. It needs to come down a little bit further. Just like that. Just make sure that we're reasonably in place. Just like that. Yeah, that's where I want to be. A little bit more forward now. Just like that. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's the key piece. Getting that sign right. And then we can start. Maneuver increases like so. Yeah, I can live with that. I'll stretch that over there. Stretch that over there. Yeah. Cool. Not worried about the big bulge in the middle yet, because that's a door handle. just the initial stretching stage. Like so. Get me cotton bud out. Start ironing out some creases. And that is already taking shape. So we can start with a bit of microsol to start conforming this little decal to where I want it to go. Start chopping out around the tyres. Like so. Just to take the tension off of those edges. And to start letting the sole do its thing. Come all the way down there. I need to take some tension off of that in a minute as well. As you can see, we're beginning to get there. I've got a door handle here, so I just need to make a tiny hole each side of it so that we can start sitting that down. Just like that. Right. And put a new blade on my scalpel. So I'll put a little half moon on there, I think. I'm not sure what they're properly called. One of them. stop it dragging on the surface. And all you're trying to do is get an approximation of where you want it to be. Let the sole do all the stretching, but this is just to get any imperfections out at this stage as best you can. Let's mark me window. Door handle. Pull the window out. Like so. Don't need that bit. And go back over with my cotton bud. Just to start really trying to get some of these stubborn creases out, and bubbles and bits, because this has got two doors this side, so it's a little bit more of a bind to get stuff to conform, but it will. Believe you me, it will. Let's lose that around that wheel now. Like so. I need that. Come all the way around then. Just like that. Cool. Cool. That's it. Little nick just needed there to send that around the inside of the arch. pretty much where we need to go there. So I'm just going to stand that down. And now focus on the roof line. Let's start getting that. To conform. So let's put a little bit of set underneath there, just to bring that round and give it something to adhere to. Start manipulating all of this with my fingers. What else comes to mind? This is the bit that always gets people when I pull a decal to stretch it. There you go. Just helps me get it to conform to the shape that I want, not what the decal wants. Just start to trim what we don't need. Sole around the corner there. Like that. Beginning to comply now to where I want it to be. So focus on this little bit now. This little nebula, or whatever you want to call it, sat down. It's coming along. There you go. Right there. And then it's just now getting the rest of the top edges in line and figuring out where the trimming's going to take place once this is dried off a bit. There you go. This is this really tricky initial stage that rears its ugly head. That's what I was looking for. Just to press that in place near the handle, and then we can start working out our cut along here. Because obviously I don't want too much overhang on the roof. So I'm just going to stretch this along. And then put a cut in about there. And lose that strip. Like so. And do the same around here. To lose that edge. And the same there. Just to lose that bit. See if I can get that a little tighter. Apologies for being off camera slightly, it's just so that I can see. There you go. Pardon me. Start putting some sole around the window of the van. Yeah, that's in the right place. And then start having a look at this area. Make a long cut along the screen edge. Like so. And then we can send that all the way around that corner, like so. Lose that. Lose that a little bit. Out with a sole. Slap it on. And that is another side of the van started. Just got to let the sole do its thing now, and then I'll come back at it and do all the door handles and gubbins that needs to be finished off a bit better than it currently is. Bits up in there. So let's get some sole on there and let that start stretching around there. All in all, quite happy with that. So that's the next side of the van done. So whilst that's curing, I think we'll do the tailgate. Exactly the same process. Put me decal in a bit of water. So bit of microset over the tailgate. Again, it's going to be set and sole, set and sole, set and sole. Twitchy hands day today. Tell you what, let's knock my van over. There you go. Let's get me sole brush. Start the ball rolling on that. Quickly go over with a little bit more microsol. And let that now shrink. The temptation is to try to get the bubbles out. So give it a little helping hand. But not too much of an helping hand. Come back at the van with a bit more. That is where I'm going to leave that for now. So we've now got both sides of the van done. So I'm pleased with that. Pause. Have a cup of tea. And we'll come back and we'll do a bit more on the transit van. See you in a bit. Right, and then we can let that side dry. What's next? Probably do the bonnet and the roof and the roof spoiler signs off camera, because you pretty much see now the decals go together. And then what I'll do is I'll bring the van back on and you'll be able to see it in all its glory with the decals applied. So when I come back, I'll wheel the van in and we'll sort that out. See you in a moment. Hello again. Right, there she is. Look at that. That is the home decaled transit van. So here you've got the Death Star on the roof and a Festa 67's workshop sign. There's the side decal that we've applied. All the doors open. Oh, let's just sort the wheel out. That's me being a bit heavy-handed. Yeah, and you've got the Star Wars on the bonnet and the bull bar. And then you've got the other side as well. And then you've got the tailgate and another Festa sign up there. And then you've got a wee light inside that lights up all the hobby bench and everything inside the van. So that, my friends, is how you do the van. Okay, and the secret in this one is the battery is hidden in the tyre. There's a little diesel battery holder in there. So when I come to change it, all I do is I pop the tyre off, and inside is the battery holder, nice and secretly mounted, so he's having a big old battery visible. So that just needs a little bit more weathering underneath. Okay, and then you can open up the side van door and see inside. So I hope you like that. I hope you like the van. You can see inside there. Just got me little fella to put in there at the bench building the kit, which is going to be the transit. And that is that. One home decaled van. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.